This is Wilt the Stilt. I'm over here chilling now. About to give you that 411 of my Animazement experience. You know, it was the first time I ever did something like that, at least out here in North Carolina. My first con was Otakon up in Baltimore. It was a great experience. Phenomenal time. Loved the cosplay when I was there. But Animazement brings its own special flavor to the con experience, and I must say it was going into it, I was thinking it'd be something similar to Otakon, and it was, but it was different in its own way, and I was happy to see that. One thing I loved about Animazement, I felt that the cosplay was 10 times better than what it was at Otakon. Sorry, no offense to those who faithfully go to Otakon, but I have to give them mad props for that. It felt like it was, you know what I'm saying, upon arrival day one, I see a fantastic Morgan and Emma Frost, as you can see on my pictures in my album on Facebook. But I move on. But yeah, the overall cosplay was great. I had a lot of interesting panels. So many interesting panels that I was actually mad that I didn't get to go to all of them because I had other things to do as well. But nonetheless, there were a lot of great panels. I must say, I think one of the great panels that I went to was Funimation's panel. They gave you a lot of inside information, gave you a lot of key things to look at that's coming up and it's happening pretty much right now. Like, for instance, they gave you the lineup for Toonami before Toonami started. They also brought on the hint that there will be a Mass Effect movie coming out, and you can see the information on their website. It actually is a movie. It's going to be grouped with EA, and EA and Funimation are doing a partnership to make the movie. It's called Mass Effect Paragon Lost, which I find an interesting title because I normally go Paragon myself. So it's kind of, interesting to have a title called Paragon Lost, like kind of saying that you have to be renegade in this movie or something of that nature. But anyway, the name of the movie is Paragon Lost. It's supposed to be coming out sometime soon this summer of this year, and they're having it's basically the people that made Mass Effect 2 are partnering with Funimation directly to make this movie a success, and it's going to be an animated movie. So basically, I have a lot of high hopes for this movie, me myself personally, because I love Mass Effect. And it was just a great overall game. I love the concept of how every decision literally affects your outcome and how things move forward. I loved it. It makes people like me who appreciate RPG games and action adventure games and can play them over and over again, literally have a reason to play them over and over again, because with each time you play it over again, you can make different decisions, and these decisions even though some of the endings are pretty much generally the same, you pretty much get different results towards that ending when you make different decisions. Like choosing a different date, like choosing someone else to date, choosing somebody else to save, somebody else to kill, stuff like that. So, but Mass Effect is making a movie coming out with Funimation. Definitely look forward to checking that out. Definitely keeping a tip on that. Also, one of the other great panels that I went to was a panel for Voice, titled Voice to One Piece. Basically it was just an open discussion about One Piece, what you like, what you didn't like, your favorite characters, things of that nature. And one thing I must say about that panel was that I loved that they showed Strong World Episode 0, which was a basically introduction to how the whole story started, as far as the main character being Luffy and his crew, how all that really started. And basically, it pretty much all started with Gold Lion Shiki, who of course was basically the main bad guy, full pretty much backstory of Gold Lion Shiki. So you're sitting here seeing how basically Gold Lion Shiki tried to corrupt well, not really corrupt, but pretty much bargain with Goldie Roger himself to, rule the world. And of course, Roger was, saying he wasn't about that. He wasn't about that life. He was just about my, I'm saying, I'm with my niggas. I'm chilling. I'm free, dude. I ain't got to do all that. So here you have this guy, saying, he's like, all right, well, fine, I'll just kill you. Not able to do it, and then doing so, he ends up getting a stern stuck in the middle of his head. And then he ends up trying to regather his forces. And as he tries to regather his forces, he hears that Gold Roger pretty much surrendered, and he dies, and he goes to jail because he basically broke into prison and fought with Garp and the head admiral, and then stays in prison for 10 years, whatever, and then ends up slicing off his legs and walks on swords to escape. And then he ends up, well, I'm getting too much into the episode, but basically you see how much, Gold Lion's actions, pretty much Gold Lion's actions of trying to reason with, I forgot his name about that quick, but trying to reason with Goldie Roger to rule the world messed up, well, not really messed up, but started the whole pirate age. And you see the characters, going through the paces and the beginnings of all that stuff. So overall, it's so much to talk about. But moving onwards, other than those two panels, I must say the dealer's room was awesome. I of course went the last day on Sunday, and you was able to get a lot of great bargains. I was able to grab not only this bad boy here, the Bankai, the Ichigo Bankai sword, equipped with the full-length chain. I don't know if you can see it, but the full length of the sword chain. And I was able to get this Bankai of Ichigo's, as well as this bad boy over here, my Zaraki Kenpachi sword, all for just a very, very low price of about $40, when each one was about $20, 22 bucks each. So got a little bit of a deal there, and was happy to come away with those. But other than, also outside the dealer's room, went to the manga library. Not much in there, just had pretty much one long shelf of manga books. Most of them were just introductory books, like the first 1, 2, 3 volumes of a series. So pretty much enough to, if you're interested, if you just want to pick up a manga just to read it and see if you was something you might like, you had time to do so. And if it was something else, then, you just put it down. You don't have to worry about going too far into it. But the manga library is interesting. I mostly just browse around. Most of the manga in there that I didn't really see any manga that I was reading. And most of the manga that I did see that I was reading or have read, it wasn't anything that was, it wasn't any manga that was missing that I could buy or anything like that. So, but it was an interesting place. That's definitely one concept that I remember from Otakon, which I was happy to see. Also, another fantastic thing was the art gallery. The art gallery was amazing. So many good artists and things are down there. So much great stuff. But that's pretty much it. But yeah, so Animazement, my experience at Animazement was awesome. Loved it to the fullest. Definitely look forward to going next year. Got to make sure I stay on top of the news about that, because I got to go back next year and do a whole lot more. You know, I had to, throughout the time I went, I had to leave early, so I wasn't able to get the full effect, so to speak, of the whole manga, the whole Animazement experience. I didn't get to go to the dances and at night and do a lot of the night scene stuff and the adult rated things, over 18 stuff, you know. So I had to there was a lot of things that I wasn't able to do, but I did get. But from the little bit I did see, and the great cosplay I did see, I was happy I went. Saw some very interesting people, talked to a couple of interesting people who had been there a couple of times, you know what I'm saying, and it wasn't their first time around. So hopefully next year be able to do some interview sessions. You know, that's one thing I want to do. I want to do some interview sessions with people who have been there before, who are their first time. I also want to do a lot of more other things. Also, part of my and another thing I want to say real quick off the tip is I apologize for my clips being so short. Sorry, my camera's limited. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully next year as well, I'll be able to do a longer video streams of the things I see around the space. But until next year, this is Wilton Houston signing off. Wilt the Stilt, your man right here. Animazement Review, totally and amazing.